Levels at 11 of the 14 dams within the Integrated Vaal River System have declined this week, with the Vaal Dam hitting a 3-year low. The Water and Sanitation Department this afternoon is calling on customers to save as much water as possible. Sputnik Ratau speaks for the department, joins us now via Skype. So where do we stand right now, Sputnik? Good afternoon to you. And why this decline, or is this to be expected this time of the year?
Correctly, Jeremy, and thanks for your time. It is to be expected, since we know that the rainy season for the inland ended at the end of April. So from then on, more consumption without actually any active recharge of our systems. And that is why the Integrated Vaal River System has also declined to about 64.6 right now, when we look at comparative time last year, where it was standing at 71. But to be directly responding to the issue of the Vaal Dam itself, it is standing now at 45%, whereas last year this time it was at 67. So yes, the decline is really on.
So at what point then does the department really start to worry?
We always have to worry, Jeremy, in the sense that as a water scarce country, you know, any decline has got an impact on what we can be able to look ahead to. But at the moment, the concern is not necessarily that we are running out of water, but that we are declining in terms of capacity, because we will be very concerned once the Vaal Dam itself gets to about 25%, because that is when we start worrying about how you know, our institution that is so very critical, Water, will be able to continue to operate. And that is when normally we also bring in our backup dam, which is Sterkfontein. If you remember, sometime in 2016, that is what we did when we had to go and recharge from Sterkfontein dam, which is in the Free State, which is a backup dam for the Integrated Vaal River System. Is
your modelling currently forecasting the possibility then of a 25% level?
Not at the moment. We are not at the situation where we are looking at it, but yes, we do consider such possibilities. You must remember that already we are halfway through the winter season almost. So what we normally see is that once we get to the end of July into August, even though the decline will continue, but we do have the greater possibility of the first rains that we normally expect from around the beginning of September towards October.
All of this, of course, comes at a bad time, given that water is critical in the fight against the coronavirus.
It couldn't have been at a worse time, because that central tenet of the fight against the coronavirus, which is about washing of hands with soap and water, is a critical element that we have to keep at the top of mind. And therefore, while we are requesting that people use water conservatively, we do not diminish the need to be looking at how we continue to practice good hygiene elements.
All right, Sputnik Ratau from the Department of Water and Sanitation.